Good morning. It's cold, it's wet, it's windy, it's Wales, but the weather's not going to stop me today. So I've had a mail call off the Shropshire Seaweed company. They've sent me some lovely seaweed feed, so thank you very much for that. I'm going to give this a go because it's supposed to be rocket fuel. A few people have recommended this to me. It's inspired me to pop to the coast, get some seaweed and put some on my beds, put some in the compost heap, and I'm not going to tell you what else I'm going to use it for, but in a future video you'll see that I'm going to try a bit of an experiment. Right, let's get the coast. I forgot my coat, so it's going to be cold, wet, and my hands are going to be blue by the time I collect all this cold seaweed. Let's go. So I've got the seaweed. It wasn't as bad as I thought. However, the tide was coming in, so I could only get one bag, but I'll pop back in the week and get a pile more. Let me show you. It's beautiful and rich. Now I need to remind you, like, don't rip it off the rocks, or if anything's living in it, obviously make sure that you're not taking that home as well. I mean, we don't want crabs on our plot, right? But the theory is that I'm gonna spread it on the bed, let the rain wash all the salt off. Some people say that it doesn't really affect it that much, but I'm going to give it a bit of a wash, let the rain do it for a few days, because I don't really need it straight away anyway. But this stuff is rich with plant food, future plant food. But yeah, so make sure that you don't take it off the rocks, make sure that it is already falling off things and it's just basically sea waste. Right, let's spread that out. Right, so I'm sowing the Nairobi snap peas. So these are the ones I found in my seed box. It looks like I need to get some more. So this will just be the first sowing. Right, so I'm going to pop. Now I've already soaked this water. I'm going to pop 2 in each cell. These are like the deep root, they're not even root trainers really, they're just deep pots. And I've had these now for about a year or so. They're from Container Wise. So like if you haven't seen, I've got a few from Container Wise now. I love them. They last you a lifetime. They're an investment, but they'll last me now. No more flimsy pots and things. I am slowly changing over. Once I've used them, you know, I'm not just wasting money. Let's pop some in. Right, speed it up because it's boring, isn't it? There we go, job done. Now I'll cover it with compost. There we go. Give it another little water in. Now I need to keep these nice and moist for a few days to let those peas soak up, so I'll pop it onto the matting now so that it'll get a good bit of water. Right. So as you can see, my oak leaf, my trusty, reliable, my favourite lettuce, oak leaf, they've all germinated really well. So I'm going to transplant a few now into another module tray so that I can bring them on. Right, let's get that done. Right, so all you basically do is we just make a little hole. Now I've already pre-watered. I've added compost and vermiculite to this to give it some good drainage. So give it a good watering. Now I absolutely love oak leaf. It's got this like lovely reddy brown leaf that's crunchy. It's just perfect. It's absolutely one of the perfect lettuces for me. Now when transplanting, don't grab the stem, whatever you do. These are amazing little tools. They're cheap, you know, you can buy them on little bidding sites. I'm not going to mention their name. They basically just gently hold it by the leaf. Now this leaf won't be the true leaves, they're just the seed leaves. So they will eventually drop off. So we gently just place them in, and that's it. Making sure that you don't damage. They're quite forgiving, but you don't want to shock them as much as possible. Okay, so all the sugar snap peas have been sown. I think my last job before I go home and cook myself a lovely cooked breakfast. It's well needed after the week I've had. I'm gonna sow some early nonce carrots. Right, let's go. So I've come over here today, and typical Wales, it was lovely and sunny about 10 minutes ago, and all of a sudden the overcast came over and it's windy, it's going to rain. So I've come over today just do a couple of sowings of Brussels sprouts and kales, and then I'm going to head home. I'm going to get that done now before the rain kicks in. So I've got a bit of space in the module tray where I transplanted the lettuces yesterday. I thought instead of wasting that bit of space now, I thought I'd sow some Cavolo Nero and some Red Bull Brussels sprouts. Let's get that done. So I think I'll do one row of Brussels sprouts and one row of the Cavolo Nero now, just to have an early harvest in the year. Now I've not had the Red Bull Brussels sprouts before, so I thought it'll give a bit of colour at Christmas dinner, I think. Now I'm only putting one seed in because, to be honest, well, one or two seeds, because I don't want that many Brussels sprouts plants this year. I had piles on my plot last year, and I thought afterwards, you don't really need that much unless you're giving it away to people. So I think I'm just going to do like 3 Red Bull and 3 of another variation that'll be green. The kale, let's have a go. There we go, and I think that's all my job's done. My advice to all those new growers out there as well is to just hold back a little bit. If you haven't got the resources in place, like grow lights and the right climate, you're just setting yourself up to fail. Also, only sow what you need. If you've got a packet of seeds, like 200 seeds, don't think, oh, it's okay, it's only 1.8, I'll just sprinkle them all out. You're just growing seeds for no reason at all. Be logical how much space you've got in your garden or your allotment. Like, I only grow about 6 Brussels sprout plants, so I will only sow about 9 seeds, and then if I've got a few spare, then I'll hold them back just in case something happens to them, when in the allotment, like slugs. So just hold back a little bit more. We're nearly there now. We're nearly at the start of sowing all those magical, wonderful seeds. But yeah, so just think about the space that you've got as well. Don't get too excited, because every year we all do it. We all put all those tomato seeds in, and then we're feeling guilty that we've got all those seeds and we don't want to kill a plant off. But you need to be brutal. Like, I sow only 3 seeds of each tomato, and then I pick the strongest one. If that I'm only growing one of the variations, and then I just pop that one on, and I have like the weak ones falling back as fail-safes really. So I don't sow like 60 seeds of tomato just to grow one plant, because I'm just going to be trying to get rid of the plant, and you get that plant guilt where you don't want to kill a plant that you've grown. So I just eliminate that guilt at the start. Speaking of getting excited, I bought some more flower bulbs today for the summer flush. I bought some sea holly, and I also bought some lily of the valley. Now these will be at the top of the plot, because I wouldn't want the chickens to be eating the lily of the valley especially. So these will be up for the top of the plot where the chickens don't go anyway. But I'm getting excited for them as well, especially when they're like 2 for £5, and I think these were Tesco's. So yeah, We're all doing it. So, right, I'm heading home. So take care, guys, and thanks for watching.